Welcome back as we are getting ready for the official inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, or the gym, and to introduce it as one of Egypt's gifts to humanity. We are going to cover together in this segment of our breakfast show using the state-of-the-art methods in exhibiting the pieces in the museum, and to make sure that they are going to be introduced to the whole world in the best way ever. Well, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Heba Saoudi, our tourism expert. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Saoudi, and a very good morning.
Good morning to you and to all the audience.
Dr. Heba, let me know, before going into details, to give a quick idea about the gym to our viewers, what are the most important ideas we should know about the gym, about being the biggest museum in the whole world dedicated to one civilization and others?
Well, actually, I think the most important information that people should know that, first of all, the location of the gym, being, just beating the Built for Eternity monument, which are the three pyramids of Giza, is as equal in terms of, fascinating building and also very impressive to visitors. It was a kind of a great competition, took place for more than 3 years among a lot of the reputable architectural sort of like companies to pick the best shape of the museum to compete with the location where the museum is, like having about 17 pyramids all around, taking the shape of the 3 pyramids all together, and so on. So it was just, the location itself is amazing, the design is amazing, and of course, as you said, it is the biggest museum. When it's fully inaugurated, it will be the largest collection in the world to have such artifacts from different
Let me take it from you, Dr. Heba, and speak about the most important pieces or artifacts which are going to be displayed in the Grand Egyptian Museum for the first time for visitors.
Well, there are more than 7 pieces from the collection of King Tutankhamun to be exhibited for the first time. Actually, they were kept hidden in the the storerooms in the basement of the Egyptian Museum of Cairo, and it is for the first time that they will be in display for the viewers. So even those who were around the globe who have seen the collection of King Tutankhamun that traveled all around the world in the late 60s and early 70s, these pieces were not even included in this exhibition. So it is to be in display for the first time ever.
Using the state-of-the-art methods, or using even AI in the museum, and making sure that we are going to have audio rooms, for example, for those who want to listen about our old Egyptian civilization, for children, for school students. I mean, how the Grand Egyptian Museum is going to receive all sects, all age categories, whether from students to the elderly people, and whether from even, and of course, people with determination. Tell me more about these details, Dr. Saoudi.
Sure. Let's start by the new generation, by the kids.
Yeah.
Actually, the kids can enjoy their tour in the Grand Egyptian Museum. Nevertheless, it's a huge museum, so we put in consideration that they might, after like an hour or so, they get bored. So we made a very interesting sort of like way of exploring the sites by making a kind of like a treasure hunt. So you get a ticket with a kind of a map to show you where you should go next. And then when you go to this, let's say, statue or whatever it is, you have like an audio display to tell you more about this piece and to tell you what will be the next step that you should take to get your hunt, or you get your treasure hunt. And then eventually there is, of course, a time limit for the participants to do this. And then once you get back again to the information disk within the time given, you will get a present. So this is a very interesting way for the kids to explore, and for the adults as well, to explore about the different parts of the museum without being in the traditional way of like someone is guiding or giving you a piece of information. No, you hear a bit of it, and then you're excited to know what will be the next stop to get your treasure hunt at the end. Also, the museum is equipped with all what the determined people can need. Like we have an escalator, we have a lift or an elevator. We have, like everywhere you go, there's slope. so that they can go from one, let's say, level to the other. Plus also we have, this kind of like hologram where people can go and sit and listen, and they can get some kind of like touching, visualizing images about, for example, they did it for King Tut's exhibition a couple of months ago, and it was a great success. Also, we have, a special museum for the children where they can go and get pictures to color, or they can even paint or draw a statue by themselves, whatever it is, and all on the AI screens. Mm-hmm. Also within the display itself, there is certain rooms where you get in and you see just plain white walls, and then all of a sudden they start showing you the stages, how the ancient Egyptian artisans used to do. So they draw the scene itself in black and white, or like a sketch, then they color it. Then you can start to see the movement, like if it's a hunting scene, so you can see the animals, whatever, are moving, and the hunters are hunting them. And then you can also hear the sound. So if there is a bird sound or like an animal sound, you can hear it. So you feel as if you are actually in a living scene within the walls of this kind of imitation to a tomb, for example.
Dr. Heba, also I'd like to mention or to speak in more details about the Restoration Center. And it's really great to find that all those responsible for our center or our restoration lab are all Egyptians, and it's going to be an educational center in addition to be our gym or our Grand Egyptian Museum. If you want to also elaborate on that.
Sure. Actually, this kind of center was the first to be built before even the construction of the museum itself. When they picked the location, that was the first thing to be built first, just to make sure that if when we are moving any of the artifacts from the old museum to the new one, everything will be sort of restored if needed, protected if needed, everything. So, and it's actually the largest restorating lab in the world so far. And it has different sorts of sections. They have sections for wood, sections for paper or sort of a delicate material. They have something for the organic, like if we have a wig that we need to restore, of course the mummies, all that. And we have a lot of expertise of actually PhD holders in this center that they sort of cover all the grounds of the restoration. Nevertheless, they also can, as you said, be a kind of a teaching lab for the new restorers. They can come and they can practice and they can watch, plus also the tourists and the Egyptians themselves. They
and
can
researchers in Egyptology in general. Yeah.
And
Dr. Heba, one final question, because unfortunately I'm running out of time. I'd like to have your vision regarding the Grand Egyptian Museum as changing the cultural tourism map in Egypt.
Actually, as I said, it's making it much more interesting, especially by adding new tricks. Like if you get to the atrium of the museum, you get the biggest statue of Ramses II, the one that used to be in the square of Ramses. And then you can see a couple of lids that they open and they illuminate the face of Ramses II on the two exact dates as it happens in the Abu Simbel temple, upon his face during his birthday and his coronation day, which is something very nice to elaborate for the tourists and to tell them that even we are using the technology of nowadays to imitate the ancient Egyptians in showing this kind of light on the face of the statue, for example.
Well, Dr. Heba Saoudi, our tourism expert, thank you very much for your input and have a very good day. And by this we come to the end of our episode. Stay tuned on Nile TV. International always for more. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman.